rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
And welcome to the Home Repairs and Solutions show, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air, your authorized Amana dealer. Your hosts for Home Repairs and Solutions are Mary Pearson and Mark Withers. Now here's Mary and Mark.
Wow, what an intro there.
That was awesome.
It was.
Well, Gary does a good job.
Yes, he does. That's for sure. And he did it without his lips even moving.
I'm telling you, I think he's turned into a ventriloquist.
I think so.
He did a fine job at it.
That's right.
I never did figure out how people do that, but
No, I never did either.
it's a talent that I do not have.
Well, I lack in some areas like that myself, Mary.
Well, I think we'll talk about our shortfalls today.
Yeah.
We don't have enough time to do that.
No, that'd take way too long. So for me, anyhow, I'm not
We'll have
talking
to.
for you. But
Well, yeah. Well, we all have those, I think.
yeah.
Is it cold enough for you?
I tell you what, it's a little nippy out there this morning.
Oh my goodness, it is. When I got up this morning to walk Tucker, I actually had to put a coat on for the first time, and it was really cold.
Yeah.
And it seems like when it gets cold like this, he takes longer because he likes it cold. So he just wants to run around. I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
hurry up.
Yeah.
So
No, it was I had to run the old defroster on the windshield on the truck this morning, and yeah, it was just a little nippy out there.
well, I didn't have to do that because I park in the garage, but so I didn't
Well,
have to do that. But
I got a motorcycle that's sitting right in the middle of the garage, so I can't get my truck in.
sorry,
Yeah, I know it. So, but
you need a bigger garage.
I do. I really do need a bigger garage between the motorcycle and all my musical supplies and equipment and all that kind of stuff. Why, it takes up quite a bit of room, and so
You can never have a big enough garage.
no. And you know what's funny is the bigger you get, the
The
more
more
junk
stuff you put in there. That's right. You're exactly correct.
That's true.
And I have a lot of stuff in my garage, but I've got it. Mine's pretty. I've been kind of working on it, so I've got everything kind of spaced where I can function and get to stuff if I need to or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but but that's good because there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we tend to collect a lot of stuff. And speaking of a lot of stuff, if people want to call in and talk about a lot of stuff, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. But
It is.
this is a Mark and Mary show.
It is.
We don't have no special guests. And on our Mark and Mary shows, we usually will just talk about whatever just pops into our little minds. And we like to take calls and hear what's going on with you out there.
Sure.
And, so if you'd like to give us a call, why, you can do that at 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. Or if you want to send us a text message, you can do that at 417-838-3192.
That's right. We can do all. We can take your calls however you want to send them.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I know someone has something on their mind they want to talk about today.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of outdoor activities that people are working on. I went over and visited with my neighbor the other day, and they actually were doing a lot of outside cleanup work. They cut down a tree that was dead, that was kind of leaning toward their house. So I thought that was a good plan to get rid of that thing before we had a strong wind and it landed on their roof. And I just see a lot of people around, doing cleanup. Now the leaves are starting to be a little bit of a struggle. I can go out and blow off my driveway in the morning, and by noon it's covered with leaves again. But that's just the way it is this year. And they're starting to turn a little bit. They're starting to, they're getting pretty. Some of them are getting really pretty. And one of the funniest things is one of my neighbors has one of those metal carport things, and the neighbor on the other side has a walnut tree. And so every now and then you hear those walnuts hit the roof of that metal building. It sounds like a gun going off.
Yeah.
And I was talking to them the other day, and they were kind of thinking, I wonder how many dents we have on our roof from that walnut tree.
Yeah.
I said, probably more than one.
Yeah.
But, so, you have all the walnut stuff. If you're not someone who picks them up and hauls them off for money, then you got to do something with them.
Yeah, that's true. Talk about the leaves starting to turn. This is a beautiful time of the year to be out in the Ozarks driving around. I was talking to a real good friend of mine this morning about taking a drive down around Eureka Springs and stuff. It would be a good day drive.
It would.
You know, to go from Springfield here, drive around down in Arkansas and through Eureka Springs and all down in there, just to get to look at the leaves and everything. It'd be beautiful.
You know, one of the great things about living here, and there's a lot of great things in my mind about living here, but there are a lot of really neat day trips. I mean, we're
Sure,
close
yeah.
to a lot of really neat state parks, Eureka Springs, you know, Bennett Springs. You can go up, you know, Ha Ha Tonka and
Sure.
all of them, and Merrimack Caverns or whatever. I mean, there's just lots of really neat day trips
Yeah.
that we can do in this area without having to drive, you know, 5 or 6 hours to
Sure.
get somewhere. And it is a great time of year to do that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
take your kids and go visit a state park this time of year.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we were talking the other day also about the caves, you know, like Fantastic Caverns, just right out here
It is.
north of town. And there's things like that you can do also that are within that's just a few minute drive. But like you say, you know, Merrimack Caverns, which, you know, a couple 3 hour drive. But it's a great day trip, so there's
It
a
is.
lot of things you can do this time of year, and it's great for just getting out. And if the weather's conducive to it, nothing better than taking a motorcycle trip right now. I mean, you know,
I know, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of things you can do, but there's a lot of things that you can do around the house too, because this is great weather to be getting out. You know, gardening season is pretty much over with, so there's a lot of things that needs to be done there to prepare for next year. I'm not a gardener, so I can't really tell you a whole lot of it, but
Yeah, I was visiting with my friends yesterday, and they said that they had pulled up all their plants
yeah.
and whatever it is you do with your
Yep.
garden stuff. I'm not a gardener either, but and was getting everything ready so that come next spring,
Yeah.
you know, they could just plow it or whatever you do and then plant. And you know, there's things you got to do.
Yeah,
take care of all
absolutely.
that stuff. So
And, you know, as far as your house goes, right now, I think one of the most important things that you can do as far as maintenance around the house is make sure your gutters are cleaned out, because all the leaves are starting to fall. And here before too long, you know, we're going to start having, you know, a lot of rain and different things. And you want your gutters to be, you know, to work properly. You want to get that water away from your house, because clogged up gutters can not only damage, you know, roof decking, shingles. It all needs to work together, and so it's very important to make sure those stay clean. A lot of folks will say, well, I'm just going to wait till all the leaves get off the trees and I'll clean them out. That's fine. It makes it a little tougher if you can
It
do it a
does.
time or two during the you know, the leaves falling. It makes it easier, but we don't have time.
Otherwise they get packed in there pretty
they
bad.
do.
So
And then once you get a rain or two on them, they get heavy and more packed down, and that makes it tougher to clean. But I think that's really important to maintain. You know, this time of year, it's going to be that time also where we're going to be putting decorations on the house, getting ready for the holidays. You know, Christmas is not that far off.
I know.
And yeah, so you know, that's things to be thinking about too. But right now is a great time. You know, the daytime is normally the temperatures are a little higher than what they are now. We're quite a bit below
Yeah, we
average,
are.
have been, but it's a good time if you're going to do any painting outside. When you get the days up around 70 degrees, 65 and 70, get that little bit extra painting done outside that you need to.
Or caulking or whatever it is.
Exactly. You know, you can go in to your local hardware store, spend a few bucks on a tube of caulk, and it will save you a bunch.
Yes, it certainly will.
You know, the winter wind's going to start whooping around, and you want to seal all those cracks. You want to seal your windows and everything. Weather stripping, it's a great time to think about putting weather stripping if you need it on your doors, windows, you know, those kind of things. That's
And these are things a lot of homeowners can do themselves.
absolutely.
So it's, you know, just take a nice day and just kind of check around your house and see what needs to be done, and
Sure.
then you have no worries.
That's right. And it's comfortable to get out and work. You know, you're not dealing with the excessive heat like we have, and it's not got real cold out. So, you know, put a jacket on, go out and enjoy the outdoors and the fresh air, and do you a lot of
And I
good.
think the pollen, have we finally got rid of all the pollen, maybe?
I think we're pretty much, from what I understand, you know, past that.
Yeah, I think so. So you don't have those issues, those bad allergy issues like you do in the early spring.
Yeah.
And maybe not so many bugs right now. Maybe they're all digging in. I don't know.
Yeah, me and Dale were talking down here a while ago. Well, I think you were there too. We was talking about you know, having this first freeze or frost helps kill a lot of the bugs off, and you know, we all hate the ticks and chiggers and all that kind of stuff, and so a lot of that stuff's gone now. We don't have to worry about it. And this is my favorite time to be out in the woods and stuff, because you don't have to worry about all the insects and stuff.
I wait a little bit longer because of the poison ivy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so susceptible to poison ivy, and I like going on hikes and all that kind of thing. But I have to really be careful of.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to everything that's ivy.
Oh, really?
Poison ivy, poison oak, all of it. I've had it all, and all of it's bad.
I never have. I've never had
Oh man.
poison ivy or poison oak or any of that. So
Well, I have, and it's not pleasant.
that's what I've always heard.
So I try to avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing, something else that I'm kind of in the process of trying to do is, is winterizing things. You have to kind of take care of your lawnmowers and your
Absolutely.
tractors and your whatever it is you have. I'm still I still have a boat that I need to take care of and some different things. But now's a good time to do that while
Sure.
it's not just freezing cold and you're not fighting a 50-mile-an-hour north wind or something. And so all those little things that you can get done. Yes, Gary has his hand up. I think he has a question.
One thing you also should remember to do is to unhook the garden hose before it freezes.
Yes, good point. Yep.
Why would you do that?
Well, because what'll happen is if you don't, water don't drain out of the hydrant, and it'll sit there and it'll freeze and bust. And then this spring, when you go to hook the hose up and turn it on, you're going to have water spraying out all under your house or in the wall.
Because it always busts inside the wall.
Inside the wall. That's right. So
So then you have those unpleasant surprises.
Yes, and you don't want that. Now, a lot of the newer construction, newer houses will have a vacuum breaker on the hydrant. So when you turn that off, the vacuum breaker will open and it'll let the water go ahead and drain out. But a lot of your older ones don't. When you turn that off, you leave the hose on, water just stays there in that hose. It doesn't.
Can you install that on an existing spigot?
They do make the vacuum breakers that will screw on to your hydrant, and then the hose will screw onto that.
Oh, I see.
I have seen those. Don't know how well they work, but hey, it'd be But the best thing is just unscrew the hose.
Just unhook it.
Take it off and unhook it and put it in the garage, and
there you go.
So you're all ready to go next spring.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
Very important.
How about your watering systems in the ground, where you have pipes around for sprinkling systems
for your irrigation?
What do you have to do to those?
You need to call your irrigation person who services those to have those winterized, and what they will do is they'll come out and they'll blow all the water out of the lines and everything, and prepare them for the winter for you, so they don't freeze.
That is true. I don't have an irrigation system, but I've been told if you don't do that, if you don't have them shut off and serviced or taking care of whatever it is they do, that in the spring you can really have a mess.
Yeah, you can.
You can have broken pipes, and then they're digging up your yard, and it's just, you don't want to do that. Isn't there something that they do in the spring? Isn't there a test or something they do in the spring also or something? I'm not sure.
There's a backflow test.
Yeah.
That and that's somebody we need to get on here sometime as a landscape and lawn irrigation person.
Well, I tried to get one on here, but he said he was way too busy, but he promised he'd come on in the early spring.
Okay.
So,
well, he can tell us more about that. But
yes, he can.
But I know, I don't know if every county does it, but I know most will require a backflow test on that, and to make sure what it is, that it's not taking water. If we go and we put fertilizer or pesticides, whatever, on our lawn, and that goes in, we don't want the irrigation system to suck that the chemical back into the water supply.
Right.
And so that's what they check for, to make sure the backflow is working properly on it, and it's not going to put harsh chemicals into our drinking water. I have seen it used to on the old toilets. Your valve in the tank, they weren't an anti-siphon valve, and so what that would do is suck water back in. If the pressure dropped, it would suck water back in. And a lot of people used to put the blue things in the tank, this, that, and the other. Well, it'd suck that back in, and then when you turned your kitchen faucet on to get a drink of water, some of that could come out there. Same way with leaving a garden hose hooked up out in the lawn. If it's not an anti-siphon valve or with a vacuum breaker on it where it can't siphon that up, I've had people spray the chemicals on their lawn, leave their water hose laying there, and then suck some of that back up in the water supply. And so it could be dangerous. So now, so with sprinkler systems and everything, they want to prevent that also.
I think, doesn't the city of Springfield require
I
something
think
like
they
that?
do.
I think they. I don't know about the county, but I think the city of Springfield does. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure they do.
So if you're lucky enough to have a system that waters your yard for you, which I do not, you need to make sure that you take care of it properly.
So we're talking about things to get ready for winter. And we've talked about guttering. We've talked about our water supplies, our weather stripping. What do you need to do to your furnace to get ready for winter?
Well, there's a couple things you can do to your furnace. This I do know a little bit about. You do need to make sure that you have a clean filter to start with. It's also really important, especially if you have an older furnace, you need to have a professional come out and inspect that and make sure that it is safe to operate. Over time, they can get cracks in the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger can rust. You can have all kinds of things happen to it. In the summertime, your furnace is either, sometimes it's sitting in a closet in your home, or maybe it's in a garage, in an enclosure in the garage somehow or something. And through the summer, even though you're probably not getting in there or it's not being used, you've got a lot of dust and stuff that builds up on it, on the burners or the igniter and different things like that. Sometimes you'll have a cracked igniter. That's a very simple fix. You don't want to be using your furnace if it's got a cracked igniter and your gas isn't going exactly where it needs to be going, and it's spewing out of somewhere because of a crack or something. So that's the most important thing. And and I've talked about this a little bit, but if you're a city utilities client, then if you have that done by a professional before November 30th, they will give you a $30 rebate against your utility bill. That's how important it is to make sure, especially if you have a gas furnace. And we see this quite often in older furnaces and stuff. We come in and we do a combustion analysis for you, check the carbon monoxide level, make sure you're not at a dangerous level or that you're having an issue somewhere. So I would recommend that people do that. That way you know that you're going to be okay, that everything's working okay, and you're not going to have any issues. Carbon monoxide is a gas you can't see, smell, or taste. So if you're having that emitted into your home, you're not going to know it. Maybe until it's too late, or until you are sick for several months and can't figure out what's going on. We've had clients that have had that issue also in the past. So that's the things that we'd recommend you to do with that. Part of that is also checking out the flue pipe. You haven't used it, so nothing's been going on. Sometimes in the summer you'll have birds build nests in your flue pipe. We've had that instance quite often where we'll go out and the flue is clogged up because that was a great place for some bird to build a nest and raise their babies. Well, now they're gone, but the nest is still there. And so that will cause blockage and different things like that. So there's lots of different things that need to be checked out to make sure that it's in good operating condition. That's what I would recommend.
There you go. And something else this time of year, and this is somebody else we need to try to find to get on the program, is somebody that does chimney sweeps. Because if you if you have a wood burning fireplace or a stove, you need to have that checked.
You do.
I had mine checked just a week or two ago, and they said it looked great, didn't need anything. But if you haven't had it cleaned in a couple 3 years, you need to do that. Need to have that checked out.
You do, and that's something that I have a insert, and so I'll burn wood just a little bit. I don't use it. It's just more of a fun thing for me.
Sure.
But even still, Paul would always check our flue and everything for us. But you're right. We need to find someone, because I actually, believe it or not, I've had a couple requests at Spring Mountain Air already to recommend someone who does that, and I don't know anyone who does that. So if you know someone who does that and would like to have them on the show, give us a call and tell us who it is. We'll contact them, because that is something that we do get requests for, and I really haven't used anyone, and I don't know who does that here locally.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that would be a good person to have on.
Well, flue fires are very common
Yeah, they
in
are.
this area because there
They
is
are.
a lot of people who do heat with wood. I have to laugh. I seen a commercial on the other day for somebody who does chimney sweeps and checks chimneys and stuff. And I got a kick out of it because the commercial, you know, the technician is showing the gentleman and everything, but it's a gas burning fireplace. That, you know, most people wouldn't catch that, but I did.
Oh,
I
how
thought that was kind
funny.
of funny. I'm like, oh, that's a gas fireplace.
Yeah.
So, but very important to do.
It is, and you're right. There are a lot of people who still use wood, and you know, if you're not able to get up there and take care of that yourself, it is important to have that
Absolutely.
checked out.
Yep,
for
it
sure.
is. It is. So, well, I hear that music, and that means one thing.
He's gonna cut us off.
He is. So, well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We'll be back right after this. Now, if you've got a problem and you don't know what to do, your siding's bad and you're plagued with green mildew. Well, your faucets, they all drip and your sinks are all clogged up too. Well, there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A man who barricaded himself in a home in the 1000 block of East Cherokee for nearly 12 hours has been found dead. Springfield police say the man, identified by U.S. Marshals as Paul Lee, shot himself in the home. Police say he was wanted on several felony warrants and was hiding after fleeing from police. A man from Springfield has been sentenced to 20 years in federal prison after admitting drug and weapons violations. 32-year-old Alawa Whitney entered a guilty plea to possessing methamphetamine with the intention of distributing and being a felon in possession of a firearm. And a 20-year prison sentence is facing a Joplin man in a child pornography case. 35-year-old Ronnie Myers pleaded guilty in May to transferring obscene material to a minor and enticing a minor for criminal sexual activity. Myers has been an employee of the Joplin school system. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
And join us for America's First News, Monday through Saturday at 6:05 a.m. on the Wall Street Journal This Morning on AM 560 KWTO.
Everybody can use extra storage space at their home or business, and Cedar Ridge Portable Buildings has been providing that extra space to its customers since 1971. Cedar Ridge is locally owned and operated and has its own factory in Springfield. If you need some extra space for the lawnmower, bicycles, or garden tools, get it straight from the factory at Cedar Ridge. Choose your size, style, and colors and have it delivered or built on site. Cedar Ridge gives you choices. Rent to own and 0% financing available.
Cedar Ridge, get a portable building from Cedar Ridge.
How long has creating that will or trust been on your to-do list? There are plenty of reasons why people put off estate planning. Please don't let uncertainty over legal fees be one of them. At Affordable Legal Services, a division of Highcheck Law Firm, our attorneys charge reasonable flat rates for creating basic wills or designing a revocable living trust for probate avoidance. Call us at 882-5858 or visit us on the web at ozarkslawfirm.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Aliens aren't coming, the government isn't watching your every move, and Honey Boo Boo just isn't that important. Don't get scared. Get prepared with Bob Gaskin on the Black Dog Survival Hour, Tuesday afternoon at 3 on KWTO AM 560. No conspiracies, just the facts. It's a fun, fast-paced, informative hour you won't want to miss. The Black Dog Survival Hour with Bob Gaskin, Tuesdays at 3 p.m. on KWTO AM 560. The talk of the Ozarks. Listen to Rush Limbaugh's Week in Review after the Mizzou game on KWTO AM 560, The Talk of the Ozarks. That's the Week in Review with Rush Limbaugh after the Mizzou game on KWTO AM 560.
Today will be sunny with a high 55, then a clear night tonight with a low 40. Partial sunshine throughout the day. Tomorrow high of 62 and a low tomorrow night of 34. Then it will be sunny for Sunday, high 64. A shower or thunderstorm in a few spots for Monday and Tuesday, high both days of 71. A shower still possible Wednesday, high 59. I'm AccuWeather's Kevin Snyder.
It's 45 degrees at AM 560 KWTO.
to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome back to the Home Repairs and Solutions Show, brought to you by Spring Mountaineer, your authorized Amana dealer. Now, if you want to be part of the show, just call in at 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. Now, here's Mary and Mark.
Or if you want to, if you're shy, you don't want to talk on the radio.
If you don't want to be seen on the radio.
That's right. Well, you can send us a text at 417-838-3192. We'd love to hear from you. And you know, everybody needs, sooner or later, some kind of home repair. If you're a homeowner,
yes,
it's just part of it's part of owning a home.
It is.
And you know what's funny, Mary, is over the years, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, sometimes it's what we take for granted is so simple, or we think silly, but people really don't know. And, you know, it's just like little things. People don't think about disconnecting their water hose. They don't think about weather's getting cold, close my house vents. Some people don't ever think about opening them.
If you close them, then you need to open them later. Yeah.
And, you know, but there's little simple things that we've been around for years, and we kind of take for granted, but people don't think about it. And, you know, just like changing your furnace filters. You know, a lot of folks just, that's something they just don't think about, you know, but it's very important.
You're right, and you know, and being in the industry that we've been in for the amount of years we've been in it, it does seem kind of automatic. But then you think, you know, I'm not in the healthcare industry, so I'm thinking, you know, I don't think like a doctor. So there's probably things that maybe I could do health-wise that is just automatic for people in that industry that's not automatic for me to think about. So, you know, we all have our expertise, and we all, you know, need help once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, if you need help with a home repair solution, that's okay.
That's okay. No matter how silly you think the question is, give us a call.
Sure. And, you know, we learn a lot on here. Sometimes, you know, and most of the time if you have that question, there's a lot of people who have that same question.
Oh, yeah.
So I always, and, you know, in our business, when once in a while, or I'll have a client, sometimes they'll call and say, I just have a dumb question. I'm like, there are no dumb questions.
No, there's not.
There's no dumb questions. You know, at least, you know, you are aware enough and pay attention that there's something going on and that you need to ask a question.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are no dumb questions, and we don't ever think that, no matter what it is, even though we might be familiar with it, it's not a dumb question.
No.
At all.
No.
And we encourage our clients, if they have questions or if we can be of help them, you know, we refer people we've had on the show to our clients. They'll call us and say, you know, or like this week I've had 2 calls wanting me to refer someone who cleans chimneys. I don't have a referral right now. I would like to have one so that we can do that and help folks out who need that service. So yeah, I no matter what your question is, you can ask us and it'll be fine.
That's right.
It'll be fine. And sometimes we don't know the answer either, but we learn.
We learn, and we won't laugh at you, we promise.
No, because I learn a lot on the show, and I like to learn something new every day, and this show kind of helps me do that.
Well, you know, it has over the years. It's really taught me a lot because you pick up, you know, everybody's got a different idea on how they do things, and it's really neat to listen and find out different things. I learn, you know, all the time, and you know, it may be an easier way to do something that we don't know about. And so if we can pass that along to everybody else, hey, it makes life easier.
And I'm all about making things easier.
Oh, yes.
Simple and easy.
Simple and easy.
I like it that way. It's less stressful.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
And speaking of simple and easy and learning something new, you know, the heating and air conditioning industry has really changed a lot, even in the last 10 years, as far as the efficiencies and all the electronics that go into them now, and all the smart boards and all the stuff that's going on with them, and all that type of thing. And we get information comes across our desk weekly with a new product or a new this or that or the other, and we try to look at them and research them and cull through them. You know, some are kind of gimmicky types, some are no good at all, and some are, you know, just whatever. We don't know. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
But every now and then we do run across something that does make sense. And we found a product a couple weeks ago that came across our desk, and I was reading through it and looking at it, and I thought, you know, this sounds pretty neat. So I gave it to Nathan and asked him if he had heard of it, and he said no, he hadn't. So we did some research on it and checked into it, and it's a product that we're offering our clients now. And it's a electronic chip that you can add to your system, and it's been there's been a study on it that was commissioned by the California Utilities Commission. It was conducted by Pacific Gas and Electric, which is a enormous utility service company. And actually this product has been in the market for quite some time. It was used on commercial products. And what it does is you can add this chip to your heating and air conditioning system. You can put it in the thermostat, or you can add it on the furnace. And what it will do is it increases the energy efficiency of your system. Depending on what your system is, it's different for different systems, of course. But on average, it saves 15 to 20% of your utility bill. So it will get a payback the first year.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure. I was going to check it before I got on the air, but I know that city utilities a few years ago voted in incremental rate increases over time, and I'm not sure. I think maybe that went into effect again this month, or last month we had another jump in the utility costs for city utility people. So this is something that we looked into, decided this would be a good product for our clients. We have several clients who have purchased these. They're very cost effective. They're $249, so it's not a $500, $1,000. A lot of times you get something new that comes in, and it's very, very expensive. Yep. But this has, we have the engineering studies and everything on this, and kind of in a nutshell, what this does is, first of all, really important, it does not void the manufacturer warranty. Some of the stuff that comes out, if you add it on, will void the warranty. We never, ever take on a product like that, because we never want to do anything that will void the warranty of your system. This does not do that. The manufacturer's on board with this. It comes with a 5-year warranty, which is a great warranty for an electronic part. You know, a lot of times you get 90 days, 100. You might get a year, but that's even hard on something that's electrical. And what it does in a nutshell is when your system operates and it shuts down, you leave hot air or cold air in your ductwork. Because the fan doesn't run long enough to push all that out. Right. So you end up sometimes with a short cycle system, a situation where your unit will come on, run for a little bit, and then kick back off. Right. That uses a lot of energy when you're going through this short cycle. What this chip does is and I don't understand electronics, so how this does this I have no idea, but it reads the way your system operates, reprograms the fan so that it runs long enough to get all of the air that you've already paid to have heated or cooled out of your ductwork. Takes out that short cycle, and that's how it reduces the cost of operating the system. They've got we checked at this. They've studied this for, like I said, many years. It was mostly, it came out for the commercial side first, because commercial heating and air can be very expensive, especially in a retail where you have people going in and out the doors all the time, and a lot of times during the holidays they want to leave the doors open so it seems more welcoming to come in and all that type of thing. So you have all of this energy being lost. So if you're interested in this, if you want some more information on it, I would suggest that you go to our website, which is www.springmountainair.com. I have put all this information on our website. It will give you more information than I'm going to talk about on the air today. And if you have questions about it, or if you're interested in getting one of these, you can give us a call at Spring Mountain Air, and that number is 831-4036. Right now, to my knowledge, we are the only heat and air company that has this in our market.
Wow.
I'm sure at some point it will spread, and everybody that's in our industry is going to want to offer these to their clients. We put one on our furnace at the shop. Our furnace at the shop cycles off and on horribly. And it does in a lot of commercial applications, and the reason it does is because you go into a commercial application and you have business go in and out, and so you're putting walls up, you're taking walls down, you're putting ducts here, there, it's being changed all the time.
Sure.
So after a period of years, usually that system is maybe set up to where it doesn't run like it's supposed to because of all the changes and the ductwork runs. You cut this one off and add this one, and so it's all over the place. Well, that's what happened in where we're at, and it's been several different businesses before we got there, so we had just a mess for a system. And we've done a little bit to it, but we haven't done a lot to it because of the way it's installed. We'd have to tear out ceilings and different things to change all that stuff. So our furnace and our air conditioner cycled off and on terribly in our office. And we put this in, and it made an enormous difference. We don't have it going off and on all the time. The temperature stays at a more even level. It's just made a big... I'm excited to get the first bill and see, what the difference is. I'll have to wait until we have some colder weather and the furnace is actually running more. But we have noticed that it is not doing all that short cycling. So it has been adapted for residential use. It's been tested, like I said, by one of the largest utility companies there is. And so we're just excited to have this new product to offer our clients and help them out. If you have an older furnace, and where this is really going to help people is if you have an older furnace, maybe it's 10 years old, it's working fine, you don't really have the money or don't want to replace it, upgrade it, you can put this on there and increase the efficiency of that quite a bit.
Right.
And it's affordable. It's not something that is going to be the cost of replacing the furnace if you're not ready to do that. The other thing that we'll do is that if you have an older furnace and you put this on there, it has a 5-year warranty on it. Let's say 2 years down the road you end up with a cracked heat exchanger and you have to replace your furnace. You can replace the furnace and put this chip on the new furnace. It will reread the new furnace and work on the new furnace. So it's not like if you put it on an old furnace and your furnace has to be replaced in a year or two that you lose the potential of using this.
Okay.
So it's one of the neatest products that we've seen come in our industry for quite some time. So
if somebody were interested in this, what number would they call?
Well, they'd have to call Spring Mountain Air. That number is 831-4036. Before we got our first shipment in, we had talked to some clients about it. We just told them that we had this to offer, and I think that we had 10 people wanting them before we even got them in.
Wow!
So it's been a great product for us to offer our clients. I have some people that have rental properties that have older furnaces, and some of their renters. I have one in particular that his renter told him, I don't know that I can afford to stay here because the utilities keep going up on me, and it's getting too difficult to pay the utilities. So he is actually going to install this for them. He's going to pay for it and see how it works for them because he doesn't want to lose a renter.
Sure.
And they've had this renter for a while, and so they don't want him to move out just because the utility bill keeps climbing on them.
Right.
So.
And what do you call it? What do you call this? Just a chip?
It's an electronic chip,
There's no brand name or anything.
No.
Just call Spring Mountain Air and say, let me hear about that electronic chip.
Yep, let me hear about the new chip you have available, and we can try and explain it to you. My technicians understand it better than I do. But it's also on our website. We put it on our website, so if you go there, springmountainair.com, it's on the first page, and it gives you the information on it, tells you more about how it works, why it works, that type of thing. Shows you a picture of it so you can see what it looks like. And very simple installation. It takes about 5 minutes to install it. So it's a very simple installation process. And we're really excited about it. Like I said, we look at a lot of stuff that comes down the pike all the time, and the majority of it we don't do anything with it. But this was something that we checked it out and looked into it and thought it was something that would really benefit not only our clients but us. at our office
Absolutely.
and in our own personal houses and,
Yeah.
and that type of thing. And I'm always looking for a way to reduce my utility bill, too. I have to pay them like everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm all about saving money on my
Sure.
utilities as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then we also have the oldest hottie going
That's just what I
on.
was
We're
gonna
about to
bring
wrap it up.
Uh-huh.
You still have until next Thursday to enter that. We've had some people call this week. We still have people entering the contest, so that'll be fun. We'll announce the winner on the show next Friday. We'll
Okay.
contact them first, and then we'll announce it on the show.
Okay.
But yeah, we're excited to see who's going to win.
Yeah.
We've had some. We've seen some really interesting things
Oh,
out
I
there.
bet you have.
So
So if you have a furnace that is just ancient, is that the proper
Ancient?
word? Ancient. There, I got it out.
ancient.
Old.
That's old.
Old, whether it's working or not.
Correct.
But, you know, so you may be in one of those situations, well, my furnace is so old it went out. I'm plugging in space heaters. Don't do that. Enter the Oldest Hottie contest
right.
with Spring Mountain Air. Take that chance because you might win a brand new furnace for your house.
That's right. That's right.
So-
And if you entered last year and didn't win, and you have an old furnace, you can re-enter this year. We did have some people do that. So
Now, for the people who entered last year, do you keep the information from year to year so you don't have to go back out and look at that furnace or stuff, or do you go ahead and do that again?
we just go ahead and do that again.
Okay.
And it's just fun to go out and meet them again,
Sure.
shake
Oh,
their hand,
yeah.
say hi,
Absolutely.
and do that type of thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have a lot of people who re-enter every year.
Yeah.
We have a couple,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, be sure and do that. If you, if your furnace is old, why, hey, if it's the oldest, well, you might just win.
The oldest hottie.
The Oldest Hottie.
How old
Yeah.
was the hottie that won last year? Do you remember?
I don't remember, Gary,
Okay.
to be honest with you. I don't keep all those numbers in my head. I used to do that, but I have a computer now, so I don't have to keep them in my head, which is a good thing. They kind of roll around in there, and it just gets all messed up.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, trust me. I know how that is. Believe me. So, something else I want to talk about real quick before we run out of time here.
Uh-huh.
You know, if you're thinking about making a change with your home, in other words, buying a new home, or you're just tired of that place and want to move on, but you want to be in before the holidays, now's the time to do it.
That's right. And I've heard the mortgage rates have dropped again some.
I didn't check before I came over today, but I've heard that too. So anyhow, but they're still great.
Oh, yeah.
regardless,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
they are.
And so if you are thinking about making that change, you want to be in before the holidays, need to make that move right now because time you find a place, get it bought, it's doubtful that you could be in by Thanksgiving, possibly, but for sure by Christmas.
Christmas, yeah. You sure
And,
could.
Yeah.
And don't you have some houses available?
You know, I was just looking here what we have listed. We have everything. I think I got like 18 new listings or something like that. But anyway, anything from brand new houses to older houses that we got listed. So there's a lot of great deals out there on the market right now. And you just need to call your real estate agent. Call me.
Absolutely.
I'd be glad to help you.
What's your number? How do they call you?
The same one I give out for the text, 417-838-3192. And I actually work for Dan Clark at Remax House of Brokers. And so we have a construction company. I know we talk about that from time to time on the air. But so we build new houses. We buy and list and sell just like all the other agents.
Do you have rental property as well?
We do have rental property. We have a gentleman named Paul that works for us that takes care of all of our rental property and does all of our maintenance and all of our leasing and everything. So we do have quite a bit of rental property. But like I say, now's a really good time of year to do it. If you're going to make that move, want to be in by the holidays, need to do it.
That's true. You need to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that. And, I've known people in the past who have done that. And it's kind of fun and exciting.
It is.
To be in a new home and celebrate Christmas right away in a new home and start making those memories. And it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's still, the weather's still nice enough that, you can probably move without a whole lot of weather issues.
Sure.
Now, I did have my brother and sister-in-law move one time in January, and it was an ice storm. Don't wait till the ice storm comes to move.
No.
Go ahead and if that's something you're looking to do, go ahead
go
and
ahead.
go ahead and call Mark or like he said, if you're working with a realtor or something. There's a lot of stuff out there, and I've heard that there's still some really, really decent
There is
deals out there.
There is. The foreclosure market is not like it was back, a couple years ago. It has slowed down a lot, but there is still some really good deals. I got one that just found out yesterday that was going to be coming on the market. That, if you're looking for that starter home, there's a lot of nice little houses out there on the market. I've got one listed up north of Fairgrove on acreage, a beautiful house that some people decided, hey, we're going to sell. We're building a new house. We're going to move closer to town. So there's all kinds of product out there. So you just need to really get out there and check it. So now's the time to do it. So
I think so too.
Absolutely. And we are getting close. We're about out of time.
We are about out of time. We have Roger who called. Roger, we've got about 30 seconds. Go.
Hey, I got a electric water heater. As you use the water down, it's got an upper and lower element. Mm-hmm. How does it recycle on? Does the upper one come on first or the lower one? Or?
Well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the lower one will come on first. And because when that water comes in, it goes to the bottom of the water heater first.
Okay.
And so that bottom one should come on first, and that's usually where the thermostat's at, down there on the bottom. Yep.
And then it'll kick up to the top one after the bottom part is warmed up. Okay.
Yep.
That's all I need to do. Thanks.
Thank you, Roger. Appreciate that.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Well, we are out of time.
We just about are.
Yes.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to have some friends over. I'm having my after fire party next Saturday, so I have a few friends coming for dinner and
fun.
Yeah. Looking forward to that, and then maybe doing a little bike riding on Sunday.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday!
So we're having a big birthday party out at my brother's. Yesterday was my brother's birthday, and tomorrow's mine, and so we're going to have a big birthday party, pre-Halloween party, and so I might get the bike out of the garage too.
There you go.
So we're going to have fun this weekend. So, well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning right here on AM 560 KWTO.